Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Hi Zorky, hi everybody. It's day 102 and today we are going to continue with our cooking mode for our crafting and find out exactly why our item is not going into our inventory. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it should work. Okay, because it should work exactly the same as normal crafting, except it should basically be looking for our food items, right? Now, just another word on this map, right? This isn't representative of the world. This is just a test map where I can do check out mechanics and stuff, right? That's fundamentally the reason for this map, and the reason everything's kind of chucked together, like, it's just to get examples. Okay, I know a lot of people come in here and they say, oh, is that the game, blah blah blah. Well, yeah, it is the mechanics of the game, but it's not how it looks when we're in a proper map. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press play, right? And I'm going to show you how it should work, right? So if we pick up this and we pick up this, then we go to crafting and we select that, we should get our crafting, and then that should do that basically, right? Now that's what we want to happen, but at the moment that isn't exactly what's happening, right? Now the difference here is we need to shoot a pig, which is always good fun, right? But this shows you the mechanics for skinning, etc. So once we do that, we skin that, right? And we can now check that, and you can see we've got pork meat in our inventory. Now, as I said, before we start putting breakpoints in and stuff and checking, what we'll do is we'll go to cook, and we should be able to cook this. Now you'll notice that this cooks, right? We get our slot, but it doesn't take the stuff out, and it doesn't move the stuff in. Okay? So, bit of a problem. But I don't think this is going to be as big a problem as it actually looks. I actually think it's going to be straightforward. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our widgets, crafting. Now remember, we're not using cooking anymore. The crafting is doing both, and we just switch modes. Okay? So, when we click on our crafting item, that's the hovered, and that's, I think I actually need to do that. So let's put our first breakpoint here. and we'll start checking values at that point. Okay. And then we shall take it from there. So that's all good. We know that's all good. We can cook, then we click. Right? And once this completes, it says craft complete, which is exactly what we're doing. So we don't actually craft the item at this point, but we do need to know what this is, and that is 19. Okay, so we're going to step into here, and what we'll do is we shall step over. That's given us 19, right? And we should get to here. Okay, so I'm going to enable breakpoint and then press resume. And it does get to here. Okay. And we're going to have to step over this to see some of these values. Right? So it's cooked pork. Right, that's good. That's all absolutely fine. Right. Then we're going to step over again. Now it seems to have added our item to the inventory. There are speed differences. It's okay. There are speed differences, but depending on how you do your blueprints and how many nodes are on your blueprint is going to be a factor, right? If you've not got that many nodes and basically the one basically the way I look at it is this: if you're doing a lot of calculations and loops and stuff, then you'll see a difference, right? If you don't do a lot of loops and a lot of calculations, then you won't necessarily see that much of a difference, right? There's a lot more that can slow your game down other than whether it's in blueprints or C++. There's an awful lot of other things that can influence it, like your static meshes, if you've got LODs set up, if you've got instance meshes set up, you know, if you're using tick when you shouldn't be. There's a lot of different things that can negatively impact the speed that ain't going to be fixed just because you do some of the stuff in C++, right? So don't think for a second that just because you write everything in C++, it's instantly going to solve every single problem you have, because the blueprints might be the least of the issues you have. Okay? For example, we were concerned by the speed this game was running, right? And we were looking at profile and stuff, and it looked like certain things were slowing it down, but one of the major issues, what it was one of the static meshes that we were using had like 200 collisions set up on it. It was a rock and it had 200 sets of collision. So if you imagine we had 40 of those rocks in the scene, it was that was crippling the game. Right? So don't always think that writing everything in C++ is going to make everything suddenly work. Right. So we want a true here and it's false. Right? Or do we? Actually, maybe not. This should remove it from the inventory. So I'm just wondering. Right, it's never going to here. So for whatever reason, this is never going in here. Right, so it's never removing an item from the inventory. And I'm guessing that it is doing this. But what we want to do is we want to go to our pawn, right? Have I stopped that? No? Oh, haven't I? Right. And what we want to do is we want to have a look at our inventory. Right. Now, as you see, it's not actually set the interactable row up here. This number here should be set. Right? So we need to find out where we're setting that, because we're not setting it in the other place. Right? So the one that we want to look at is the stag meat thing. So when we set up our food item, which I believe is basically when we spawn it. When we spawn it into right, so we need to have a look in our interactable items. Item type. Okay, it's not that one. Right, so in here we've got our deer meat, right? Now, right, so we're doing that slightly different. So that is absolutely fine. Dead goat, goat meat. Right? So let's have a look here. Got food items. Pork meat, blah de blah. And obviously pig meat. Right. So, so I believe we've got cooked pork. Right, but that's not really what we want. Right, what we need to look at is dead animals, right? Dead pig, right? And when it sets up our food, is this one what I think it is? Not necessarily. This is this food item, right? So basically, we need to check here, okay? And this is the thing that gets added to our inventory, right? So, yeah, it takes a long time, Zorky, don't worry about it. It does take time to learn. There's a lot to the likes of Unreal Engine and Unity and all these things. There's so many different aspects to them. Materials, particles, programming, modelling, lighting, animation. Oh, the list is endless. So you just got to take your time. Right. Right, so there we go, right? It's adding it to our... Oh, it's not going to do it yet because that's nothing. Right, but we're going to step over. And we've not got a DT interactable row number. For some reason. Now the really strange thing is, we don't have it there either. So that's a bit weird, to say the least. Okay, so if that's the issue, I'm really surprised at that. Okay, I think the only way we can test this, right, is by putting a stag in, and there's already a stag, so we can basically shoot the stag and find out what the value is when we shoot the stag, right, because there's something weird going on here. Always interesting when you get a problem like this that you're not really sure what's going on. Not sure what that means, but I hope you're being nice. Right. What? What? Did that take that breakpoint off? No, that was a dead pig. Right, okay. Right, so we need to look at dead stag and see if it does the same thing. Right. So basically we look in here. Now we have to expect this to basically say nothing. Right, that would be your expectation here. Not saying that is what's going to happen, but right. No, but interactable row number is nothing. Right? So deer meat is none. Right? So it's not that that's causing us an issue. Unless, of course, right, okay, right, we're going to try something here. We're going to go to this food types, and we're going to say 20. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go to food. Right, and we're going to say 19. Now the difference here is that we're not classing, we're crafting the other thing that we're doing, we're not cooking it, right? Right, so if we step over this, right, we're going to have a 19. Okay, we can resume that. We can cook that, then we get craft complete. Okay, so we step over that, then we step into that, right, and the thing that we're going to, yeah, we just do resume again, right, then we step over, we step over, and this time we should get this, right, this should be true. Step over that, step over that. It should be true at some point, right? I'll tell you what we'll do is right, enable breakpoint. You see it's hitting this time, right? So that's what we want. It wasn't hitting this before. Right? So we shall check. Disable that. Resume. It's still not moving though, right? But at least we've got something, right? Right, so right, that's okay. That's okay. Right, so this part's okay, I believe. Right. So we're going a little bit higher again. And I believe it's not even in here, it's here. And it's this part here. Right? So we're going to have to stop that, right, because we didn't break into it. We're going to have to ignore them for now. Okay. Right, we're going to resume that. Cook. Go. Right. We resume that. And then we do our move complete. So we step, let's make sure that these two are, we've got that, crafting finished, and we've got our parent, right? So what have we not got? It's the crafting table. It is the crafting table. Right, that's nothing, and there's the problem. I should have known that, right? I should have known that. Okay, so what I want to know here, well actually we want to stop that, right? And what we're going to do is something very similar. Have we got a parent here? Yeah, we have, haven't we? Or we should have. Yeah, it's the widget, isn't it? Is it? Let's go back. That's in our crafting main. This is our crafting item. We do have the parent. Right? Actually, we don't. Not that it actually matters. Let's see what we've got unfinished, right? we do need to know what the mode is, and that's in crafting main. Alright, so if crafting main is in this, yeah, it should be in crafting main. Yeah, it has to be. Right, there's a crafting mode. Right, so we get our crafting mode. Right. And then we say switch. Right. Let's see what we've got here. We're probably going to have to give this a little bit more room. Right, but we're basically going to be doing pull that down. Now the interesting thing is if we do that, right, and we put crafting, now we're going to join this to here. Right, and that is going to go there. Then these two are going to also go to there, and this one is not going to be the crafting table. We're going to undo that. Right, we're going to delete the crafting table. We're going to plug that in, and we're going to say cooking station. That's going to go there. And I am 60% confident that this is the solution. I'm going to dismiss that. Click on that. Get it up. Shoot a peg. Click on that. Run over, skin it, resume that, right. Cook, do that. Right, we'll resume that. Then we shall step over. Ah, there we go. Not quite right. Not quite right. But what we want to see here is if I do I. Oh, wait a minute. That might be right. I might have set this up to be 2. I'm not sure. We didn't actually take away. You'll notice we've got two here. We've got cooked pork and pork meat, right? So it looks like it hasn't removed the item from the inventory, but it has added our item. Right, so what we need to see here is our pawn again. And we've got our pork meat. And those are the same, right? So there's a problem there. Right, so it should be taking 19 away, but adding 20. Okay, but we're nearly there, we're nearly there. And on that, guys, I'm going to go and grab a quick cigarette, as is my usual thing. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for links to the game's Discord, my personal Discord, Patreon, and my previous game on Steam, also our Kickstarter preview and website. And I shall be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. Alright guys, we're back. So let's take a look at this and see where we are. I think what we need to do is we need to see which one it's removing and which one it's taking away. Right? So this is the one that is removing from the inventory, right? And this is the one that it's adding to the inventory, right? So we basically need to find out these two values, and I believe it's going to be 20 and 20, right? So it adds them but it never takes any away, right? So right, resume that. Right. Resume that. Now, it's removing an item. Okay? So we're going to step into this. And we've got an item. Yeah. That's wrong. Okay? That should be 19. So it looks like we're getting the recipes. Our cooked pork is the required item, so that's right. And that's 1. So, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Ah, wait a minute. This is not the required item. We require number 19. And we're given item 20. Right? So, I believe that might actually be us sorted. Resume that. with that. Resume that. Step into 19. Perfect. Resume that. Step into 20. Resume that. Resume that. Pork meat. Right? So that's all fixed up. So that is basically a couple of errors in the data tables. Nothing much here. All we needed to do was basically add the two different versions so that we're either using the crafting table or the cooking table, which is fine. Not too big of a deal there, because everything else stays the same, right? And all we need to do is get these recipes the right way around and make sure we've got them properly, right? So there we go. I see the bots are in today as usual. I think that's the highest bot count ever, 51. Now, here's the funny thing, right? I wonder if yeah, it actually does show up on, well, it's got 42 watching, right? But obviously there's not. Which is bizarre. And a shout out to Bobbles Acu for the subs. Thank you very much. Very considerate and kind of you. Right, so we have that working basically. Now there's two, well, there's actually more than two things. Right, but what we want to do is go into here, go to the designer, right, and this is going to be txt header. We're going to change that to a variable, right, and then we've got this items available. So we're going to say txt items available. That's going to be a variable as well, right? And basically when we set this up, we're going to go to the graph, right? And it's one of these get what is this one again? Right, it's this one here. Right, so I'm pretty sure this is called in-game. If we look at our string tables, we just do the name, wherever our string table is, st underscore in-game. st underscore in-game. Right, and then we check it out. And we say cook. Okay. Right. And then we get text header. Then we do the old set text. Right. And that goes in. This is the only problem with making all the widgets bigger for you guys to see. Not that it's a problem, but it does make it a little bit more awkward. Right, so this is going to go here, and we're going to do the same thing again. Right, so we'll move this along a bit again, and we'll duplicate that, and it's this one here. So that's going to get deleted, and that's going to go in there. And we'll just plug that in there. We need to change this key though. Cook items. Right. So it's cook items. Then plug that back in there. Save that. And we can test this without shooting the pig or anything. Ooh, nothing. Okay. Well, that's interesting, to say the least. Right, wait a minute. I used the wrong thing here. Just check this out. And that's Right. Tells you everything but return that, of course. I've done this, but I can't remember where it is. And all the answers seem to be, no, that's it. That is the correct answer, right? Table ID. What we're going to do here, right, is we're going to say make as a test. We're going to make a literal string, right? And then we're going to say this is a test. Okay, compile that and run it. And this might be the way that this is set up. Right. So we've got this as a test. You can see that works. Right? And we can see that this doesn't work. So what we could do is st underscore in game. Right. Save that. Now this is going to be awfully weird. Something tells me that I had to make that into a literal string for it to work, by the way. This, it kind of reminds me. So let's see if this has got something. Apparently not. Apparently not. Right, so we get no header. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to say get table entry, right? And this is done somewhere else. So we're going to have to do a search on this. Now, I would probably think it's in our main menu. if it's going to be somewhere, it's going to be in our main menu, right? Or indeed here. Oh, that's bizarre. I'm going to stop that. Right, we're going to do that again. Get string table entry. Source. Right, this, I have used this somewhere else. Except apparently I haven't. Right, so that would suggest these, by the way, are all from an asset that we're not using, by the way. Right, I am going to go to the main menu. Right? Because I think somewhere in here there is definitely okay. No results found. Now this is kind of weird. Right, and this is all well, 90% of this is videos, and we're not watching a video on our stream, thank you very much. In fact, that was about 20. Ah, this might be it. This might be it. It's make text. from string table, right? This is cook. And we'll plug this in. I seem to remember it might have been this one, in fact. Missing string table entry. Interesting. This is one of these little things, isn't it? There's our key. So we'll go, let's see if text from string table. Right, let's see if this is in our main menu or something. Nope, so we don't use that either. Alright, let's make literal string. Right. And cook. Now I wonder if this is supposed to have like a slash on it or something. Some weird thing. Let's have a quick check. Engine. Alright. And this is all about localization, which I've done before, but this ain't gonna have it dynamically returning it. Now, the other way, actually, you know what? See this like text header, right? See if we go to the designer, we've got it to do this, right? So I'm just wondering if we have to put all of that stuff in. Maybe we do. I mean, the namespace is that. Right, let's try that, right? Not too sure if this is going to work, but we'll try it. Right? So what it was slash game slash string tables slash st in game dot st in game. Get string table namespace. What does that actually return? A string. So our table ID right, maybe we need to do that. st in game. It's actually a capital G. I am fretting a bit too much about this, aren't I? We could have done this a different way, but you get that I'm gonna get this to work feeling, you know? That this won't beat me. Right. So apparently that didn't work. Right? So let's go back to the way we were. Game slash string tables slash in game dot st in game. Okay, let's try that. See how that works for us. Voila. Resume. So that worked. Right. Now, there's probably a better way to do that, but at least this gives me an idea of how to do it. We can probably save this as a string. Let's face it, there's going to be better ways to do it, but it at least gives us an idea. So now if we do the crafting, it's going to show the crafting, and if it's the cooking, it's going to change the header, etc. Right, resume, and there we go. Okay, deletes all these, everything's good, and there we go. So our cooking is working. Now what I'm going to have to do is actually Notepad, interactable main, food items, food types, recipes. These are all the things that we're going to have to set up when we set up a food. And then BP dead animal. Right, and we'll have a header here. We'll say set up new food item and cookable item. And can we format font? Can we not underline it? Apparently you can't underline in this. Not to worry. Right, we'll save as. It's going to be in our desktop, and it's going to be Groenland food setup. Okay. Now, when we think about it, we should really set this up as this is a variable, right? So, we'll say dir, we'll say st in game, right? And it's going to be a name. Compile. Copy that. Paste that. Then that's going to go there. And it's shall tidy it up a bit, and that at least gives us a bit more tidiness. Right. And there we go. And I think on that point, guys, we shall leave it there for a quiet Thursday afternoon. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. We've sort of fixed that up a bit. We've got our cooking and our crafting working properly. Most things were okay. It was basically the fact that I hadn't set up the recipe properly. But that's okay. We live and learn. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Check out the links to Discord for the game, my personal Discord as well. Previous game on Steam, Patreon, Kickstarter preview and website. You'll find all the links in the description so you can have some fun with that. So thanks again for watching. I'll be back tonight, most likely. Bye bye for now.